Well, if you tuned into Club and Angles coverage last Saturday night to view races 6 and 7, you saw very little. In fact, probably the last 100 metres of the race due to the very thick fog which rolled in. Caught up with Jimmy Douglas, who drove in those particular races, to get the driver's point of view and also to discuss the chances of his 3 drives on Saturday night. Well, Jimmy, those 2 races on Saturday night, the final event was a little bit better, but races 6 and 7, it was just a pea super.
Yeah, for sure. Especially watching the replays back, it was actually surprising. Especially that that second last race, that was really bad. Yeah.
Now, I was watching the replays, I couldn't see anything. So, what was you watching?
Yeah, well, we're watching the replays of the first 50 and the last 50, but yeah, no, it was on the track. It's not that, you don't get that impression. Like, obviously, you can't see the other side of the track when you normally can, and so you know it's there. But as far as in the race and that, you can see all the horses. Yeah, so it's quite an experience to watch it back and see how bad it is to actually view from a camera. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I want to get your thoughts, Jimmy, because people have asked me that are not so much up to date with harness racing, but was it dangerous to be out there for both the horse and the drivers? They don't realise it's a lot less, as far as the fog is concerned, down ground level.
Yeah, absolutely. No, not dangerous at all. We could see completely everything. Yeah, no, there was honestly no problems. And that's what I'm saying. It's actually surprised to see how bad it actually was watching it back. Like, even for on the track for the second last and the last was obviously a little bit better vision than the race before. But out there, you wouldn't have known the difference. It was foggy both times. But yeah, as far as, you can see that vision, even from the camera, you can see that vision for 50 metres. So when we can see our vision for 50 metres on the track too, and probably being a little bit lower too, not in line with the camera, it's no problem on the track, no.
And of course, if there was dangerous circumstances, you'd have something to say to the stewards.
Absolutely. Like, there's been a few occasions, probably not so much here, but certainly at Penrith over the last couple of years, when we have had that rain consistent. They've had a bad run, unlucky Penrith, and we haven't been able to see because of the dirt coming back up in our face, and that's why the meetings have been called off. So if there is a visibility issue at all for the drivers, we definitely don't. We don't want to not be able to see it, or we want to be safe for the horses, for everyone else, and yeah, just there was absolutely no problem Saturday night at all.
Each and every race you go out and compete in, Jimmy, drivers are always looking after each other's welfare. A little bit more so in a situation like Saturday night?
Yeah, but honestly, like, out there, you wouldn't have known the difference. Like, the track was actually a little bit sticky and muddy, so that was probably actually the biggest. Not that it was a concern at all; it wasn't affecting our vision at all. But that was probably the biggest change to normal. Not so much the fog. Like, had the track been completely dry in that fog, we honestly wouldn't have noticed any difference actually racing on it. Like, yeah, if you look out, look across the track or something, you can see it. But as far as actually being in the race, when you're concentrating on your horse and the way the race is being run and all that, every perception was there. Like in that second last race when the speed went on, from the 1,000, you could tell the speed went on, you could see the horse in front. So there was definitely no problem.
Well, certainly very clear and precise, and you've covered that very well, Jimmy. Saturday night, you've got some nice drives in the first. Bad draw again, he's nearer the marquee than the pegs, but Mick Danger, geez, Ian Wilson's got this fella flying.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. He's got good speeds, and he seems to always find the line really good. So he had a bit of luck a couple of weeks ago when he was, buried back on the pegs and he got out and won, and that was really good time that night in 150. So he's obviously got that there. And then last week, drawing 10, he got a long way back, but found the line really good to be only beaten 3 metres. So unfortunately, he's drawn 9 again over a mile. So yeah, it isn't a great draw, and we're going to have to sort of play it by ear out of the gate and things like that. But if there is a bit of speed on and we can get a trail into the race or something, they'll definitely know he's there.
2 starts back when he did win, that was a superb drive, so you better give yourself a rap there. And last week, 4th to I'm Rockin', and as you said, beaten 3 metres. Similar feel this week?
Yeah, it is. Like last week was a final, so all those horses had run first or second the week before, so obviously that's a good guide to the quality of horses he's been racing over the last couple of weeks. So he actually, when he won 2 starts ago, he actually beat On Rockin' It. He did have all the luck and On Rockin' It didn't. And probably that last week, Rockin' It was in front of me and I was behind him, and so he had the edge on me. So I don't think there's much difference in the way the 2 horses are going, but unfortunately for me, he's drawn inside us again. So it is going to be hard to beat, and there's a few new ones there, so there might be a little bit unknown. So, yeah, hopefully there's just a bit of speed on and we can get that run into the race like we did a couple of weeks ago.
It does look to be a race where there's going to be plenty of value on offer no matter which way you want to jump as far as your investments are concerned.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, those up to 80 races, like being that top division, all those horses have earned really good money their last 5 starts. So they're all in form mostly, and yeah, over a mile here that they can all run, obviously, to make it this far. So it's a very even bunch. Unfortunately, we've drawn bad, but I think he's going as good. Well, like I said, there is a couple of unknowns, but I think he's definitely going as good as anything. We just need that little bit of luck from the draw.
Talking about drawing badly, you've got the same outside draw in race 3 with number 11, but we'll start from 10 Star Major for James Rattray.
Yeah, I've been driving in the last few weeks while James has been in Queensland. He's a lovely horse. He's a top quality horse, obviously being in the free-for-all. He couldn't get into the race last week over a mile. 2300 this week probably suits him, but obviously the draw doesn't. So 2 starts ago over 2300. He wasn't beaten far into 4th behind Pete Said So, JOK, those type of horses. So he races a similar field again. It's just the draw.
As we've seen with those horses, Jimmy, they're racing against other now on a regular basis. Pete Said So, Max Delight, throw in a couple of the others, and JOK is another one. It's just that luck in running, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is the kind of horse that can sometimes make his own luck in running, but obviously over 2300, you've got to have a little bit go your way. You can't completely just go flat out from start to finish. So we're going to have to, I'll talk to James later in the week about it, what our tactics will be, but I'm sure we'll try and put him into the race at some stage, and he won't be far away. He never is.
Joe and Mirando have 2 runners in the final event, the stand for the Trotters, Toro Stride and also Leaf Stride. Toro's off 20 metres, Leaf Stride's off the front.
Yeah, that's right. Both horses won last start, Leaf on the Tuesday in a stand under similar conditions, and Toro won the 2300 metre mobile Saturday, so they're both in top form. Toro probably has a little bit of a class edge on Leaf Stride overall, but Leaf Stride's standing start form is probably superior, and certainly off the front he definitely gets right into that race. So I am going to stick with Toro Stride. He's been very good to me the last few weeks, and he is, like I said, a very classy horse. So a little bit, he has done things wrong from the stand before, but he's had a lot of practice lately, and hopefully we can get him away, and probably not being an overly big field suits him being off the back mark.
Yeah, well, Toro Stride's had the 3 stand start attempts for 1 placing, while Leaf Stride 8 stand starts, 4 wins and 3 runner-up checks.
Yeah, and that's probably a good indication of their standing start form. Like, had it been in a mobile, Toro Stride probably on previous form might have a little bit of an edge, but Leaf Stride off the front with his standing start form is I think really hard to beat in that race. But like I said, I'm going to stick with Toro just based on how good he has been lately, and he is a top quality trotter. So if he does put it all together and we have a little bit of luck in running, he won't be far away again.
Yeah, and Joe and Mary are edging closer towards a milestone in their training careers together, 150. I think they're on 147, nice. So you'll be able to help edge them a little bit closer.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I know they got another run today and on Tuesday, and maybe, they got a couple in that trot on Saturday, so hopefully I can be the one that can edge them that little bit closer.
Of the horses, Jimmy, sounds like you're keen on Toro and maybe Mick Danger.
Yeah, definitely. Like Toro's, he's won his last 2 Saturday nights last week and then a fortnight before that. So he is a top quality trotter. The conditions might not be his favourite conditions, but he is getting better every stand start he has, and it'll actually, like I said, the small field probably suits him. So he's probably my best chance, and Mick Danger's just the draw that's the issue there, but he's definitely going good enough. And Star Major's definitely not out of it. He just probably needs a little bit of luck to go his way from that draw as well.
You're driving in superb form, so they've got a lot going for them. As always, thanks for your time, Jimmy.
Thanks, Mick. Appreciate it. Thank you.